Despite what it feels like, we hold the blueprint to our own safety, to our own security, into that space inside of us where we belong. No one can take it from us. No one can take that space from us. We have full control over that sacred space inside of us. Today's message is meant to meet you at your core. It's meant to meet you at that part of you that doesn't want to be seen, it doesn't want to be felt. Maybe it just wants to be ignored. It's that part of you when things start to go sideways, starts getting very tight, starts getting very uncomfortable. It's that part of you that feels trapped, that when you feel it, you're feeling an experience you had when you were younger. You're feeling an experience that came from a previous relationship, a previous job. You're feeling a part of you that's still trapped in a traumatic spiral. And so today we're going to sit in that uncomfortable spot and give ourselves new grace and learn how to manage our way when we're feeling that uncomfortable, disquieting anxiety and fear that's starting to creep back up. I don't know about you. I know when I experience those moments, there's a part of me that can't think straight, that will easily run to the thing that feels like it'll give me peace. And so in that uncomfortable place is where we're going to learn how to appreciate, see ourselves, and give ourselves new grace. Hi, I'm Daniel Estevez. I make content for clear, conscious people who are tired of the same results, given the same options, and living the same life. We want something different, and we access a different way of being, a different way of living by meeting the uncomfortable places inside of us, bringing new light, new healing, new growth, and learning how to live more full as an entire human being and no longer living just in part. This voice echoes in the back of your head. I thought we got past this. I thought this didn't bother us anymore. I thought we were done reacting like this. I thought we were done having such big, overwhelming anxiety. When we're faced with a new obstacle in a new trial, we either create a new way to deal with it, or we follow an old pattern that is our own self in its best form trying to protect us. And where we run into trouble is when an old pattern brings us to that place that brings us discomfort and anxiety. So many problems in our life we meet, we just resolve them, we move through them. We're not even consciously aware, but given a similar problem in a time past in your experience, you were hurt. You went through that event with an asterisk forever denoted on what it felt like to be in that moment. Then the asterisk is a pronounced never again. But the difference now, I'm 35, you're 29, and or many other ages. The difference now is we are no longer the 7-year-old trapped in an unhealthy situation where all we have is our fear and anxiety to communicate with us, and we have no one around us. But yet, why do we still find ourselves as if we were that trapped child, that person back into an unhealthy, abusive relationship? Why do we still treat ourselves like we're right back at square one, afraid to go on, and uncertain of our own ability to make it through the moment? This is good. This is good to open ourselves up back to this place where we can feel that level of discomfort, that level of pain. Because we cannot move through and move past things by brushing them away or ignoring that they ever happened. No, we have to sit in it, and we have to do so willingly. We have to give ourselves space and grace to be able to sit in that uncomfortable place that feels like too much solitude, too much pain, too much awareness. And that's where we have opportunity to speak to ourselves. We may think we're the adult in the room, but given the right stimuli, we'll go right back to that place where we have to run and hide. So we at any time have the capability of speaking to that hurt person inside of us who is doing their best to protect us and who's running on our nervous system and wrecking it, and who is doing their best to protect us. So for me, when I meet that part of me and that part of me is coming back up, I do my best to bring awareness to myself and bring awareness to that part of me that's feeling trapped, hurt, pained, discomfort, who's saying, I know what's happened before and this is what it felt like. For me, the thing that I tell myself is, I was numb for many years. I was essentially not present for most of my life. I'm 35. It had to have been at least 30 years. Up until recently, I wasn't present. But the more that I show up for me, the more that I'm consciously choosing to experience and be vulnerable and open my heart, the opportunities come for things to slip past my defenses and touch me in very vulnerable places that I had asterisks that said never again. And when those moments come, I, in one hand, am overwhelmed and hurt and pained and afraid and am curious to think of how to hide. And on the other, there's a realization of, this is what I wanted. I wanted this pain. I wanted to be vulnerable. Because what it costs me to hide is never being fully present, never being able to connect deeply with others, never being able to connect with myself. Although I traded all of that so that I wasn't accessible to being hurt, but it cost me every level of depth and security of love and connection towards myself and towards others. So on one hand, I'm terrified and I don't ever want to be hurt. And on the other, this is why I'm doing the work. This is why I show up for me. This is why I show up for you. Because I'm proving to me over and over and over again that everything that I'm feeling is grace. Everything that's happening that makes me want to run is only happening because I've done the work to be vulnerable. I've done the work to be here. And I was so good at running and hiding that if I needed to, I could do it. And I still have access to dipping out of reality if I need to. But the reality is, I am here and I stay. And even in moments when I'm feeling so pained and stressed and hurt and uncomfortable, I remember the alternative. I remember what it was like to hide when I was starting to do my deep spiritual work to get me out of hiding. I had this visualization that I was living in this 6 foot by 6 foot by 6 foot concrete cube with no light. So long ago, I had paved over all the doors and windows so no one could access me, and the only way I could access the outdoor world was the crack under the door that was now, the door was now concrete, but that crack still remained. I could see just glimpses of the outside world, just enough so that people could know that I was there. And I did a lot of work to leave that place, to find myself in a new place, a beautiful place, a place where light and people that I give grace and permission to are allowed to enter. I did that work. So when old things come up that say you'd be better served hiding, I remember where I've been. I remember what it was like to hide. and I give myself grace to be afraid, and then I love myself in lieu of that. So my encouragement to you today is the same encouragement I give to myself. That even though in this moment you have no guarantee that you are safe, that you're okay, that you'll make it till tomorrow, the promise that we give is the promise we give ourselves, and is a mantra that we repeat over and over again. I am building, I belong, and I am safe. Despite what it feels like, we hold the blueprint to our own safety, to our own security, into that space inside of us where we belong. No one can take it from us. No one can take that space from us. We have full control over that sacred space inside of us. And if it's reduced, it's because we chose to. And if we need to rebuild, it's because we choose to. All that we do with open hands, grace, and awareness. Because healing happens when we show up first for ourselves. And that's what we do. We show up. It's an honor to talk with you guys. I have coaching skills, and I love to talk to you. I have a link down in the description you can click on. Please like, comment, subscribe. I look forward to hearing more and more from you guys, what's happening in your lives, and what does it look like for you to bring new awareness and healing to parts of you that feel broken, scared, and lost. Please share it with me.